Welcome to Kickstart the Conversation, where we talk about all things entrepreneurship, marketing, and business growth. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Well, then you've come to the right place. Here on Kickstart the Conversation, we have real, honest conversations about what it takes to build a successful business in today's world. No fluff, no BS. Just real talk about the challenges and opportunities that come with being an entrepreneur and growing your business. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned business owner, we've got something for you. From expert interviews to actionable strategies you can implement immediately, we'll help you get clarity, build momentum, and achieve your goals. So sit back, relax, and get ready to kickstart the conversation with your host, the Quiz Queen, Catharine O'Leary.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Kickstart the Conversation. I'm your host, Catharine O'Leary, aka the Quiz Queen, and I am very excited today to have Jan Carroza on our Masterminds Unleashed segment of our Kickstart the Conversation. Jan is the author of Rockin' ROI, How to Bootstrap E-Commerce with Performance-Based Marketing, and an affiliate marketing instructor. She is a 40-year marketing veteran, writes about trends in offline and online marketing, and has previous clients including Blue Cross, M&M Mars. Oh, we got lots to talk about. Time Warner. She can be found at jancarroza.bio.link. We'll put that in the show notes. So hold on for that. Jan, welcome to Kickstart the Conversation.
Oh, this is so much fun. Thrilled to be able to do this with you.
So you have an interesting take on what you're doing now. You are recently retired from your corporate gig, or the kind of
working for other people.
Working for other people. So Jan calls it retired with projects, which I love. And you are actually helping people kind of understand other people's platforms. And I love this idea of, so as everyone knows, and I'm not getting on my soapbox, don't worry.
Go ahead.
Paid advertising is not for the faint of heart, and it's not for somebody that's on a budget. So unless you're making probably $20,000 a month in revenue in your business, paid advertising, is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So that being said, there's 100,000 million different other ways to market your business. And what Jan is talking about is other people's platforms. So it's all about, if I understand correctly, it's all about
leveraging
your authority in other people's audiences and other people's platforms. Right. So Jan, you explain it. I'm obviously butchering it.
I mean, we're doing it right now because today we've each recorded. We're recording with each other. So what we've done is a little bit of a joint venture, a little bit of a collaboration. What I think people fail to develop, whether you're a small business, a solopreneur, or a big corporation, is develop as much of the things that you can do for free to get your name out there as you possibly can, especially in today's environment where you've got so many channels. It's just mind-blowing, right? But people neglected that. And that's one of the reasons I wrote the book, was to be able to say to the solopreneur, okay, you can start and you can do a lot of things for free before you spend your first dollar on advertising. And then if you're going to start spending money on advertising, here's how to ramp that up so that all the time that you're doing it, you're continuing to meet your ROI goals before you go on to the next stage. You're doing each one well before you go on to the next one. But focusing on a blog post that I did that was 30 ways to leverage other people's platforms, you kind of break it into segments where they're collaborations, where you can do a blog post for somebody else's platform, they can do one for yours, you can give them copy or ideas, bullet points to put in an email they send out to their audience. You can do the same for them. You can be featured in somebody else's newsletter. You can do PR. And I think so many people fail to do PR. And I love that Joanne McCall promotes this so much. So you can become the person that media will come to on a given topic, but you can start by just reaching out locally and finding local media, local podcasts, local newspapers to be featured in it. I think people are afraid perhaps to kind of put themselves out there. There's also lots of things that you can do as a speaker. So you can do in-person gigs, you can do your own meetup. There's just a lot of ways that you can expand and get your name out there, get your message out there, and get more business that don't cost any money before you tackle and go, okay, now I'm going to buy Facebook ads or whatever you're going to try that starts to eat up budget.
So there's a lot to unpack there. As most people on in this audience know, I work with Angel Tusi. She's my media PR person, guru, if you will, and she helps me with my PR releases and everything. But I mean, you don't need that, like a person like that. You can go onto Google, throw in your topic of what you do, and at the top of Google, it has little folders. There's one for images. You've probably seen them. There's one for videos. There's one for news. And you can actually pull up the news, like what's been written on your topic and by whom. So is Forbes writing about you or about your topic? Is Entrepreneur writing about your topic? Is your local Orangeville Gazette writing about your topic? So that's something that you can do. Now, here's the challenge. Exposure without a way for them to connect with you is a little bit of a waste, in my opinion.
Right.
So you've got to have a way for people to connect with you.
Right.
Do you agree?
I do. And I love the idea that we could tap into your wheelhouse of the quizzes to do that, because you've got to have that call to action when you do any of these, right? You've got to be able to send them someplace and be able to start to nurture and convert that person. And the fact that a quiz can do that faster, better, offer more information than just sending them to your website, it's huge.
And it can work on any platform. So whether you're on a podcast or a summit or a giveaway or a networking group or a, speak to sell.
Yeah, exactly. You could be a speaker on a panel anywhere, or like we talked about before, you could have something in a QR code on your business card. And those are ways to kind of get them engaged. And I like that you said, not just know, like, and trust, but find a gap so now you're solving a problem when you're giving something, right? So you're giving your message, but you're also offering an opportunity to solve a problem. And that's a huge bonus. And I think that's why a quiz really tacks on a new level of service when you're out there getting your message across.
Right. And what Jan is talking about is that ability to kind of take your clients through a little bit of a journey with the questions that you ask in the quiz. They get to tell you kind of where they're at, and then you can ask them the question, 12 months from now, where do you want to be at? And then they've realized, holy crap, I have a gap, where I want to be and where I am now based on what you've asked me. I need some help in closing this gap. So that's kind of the quiz side of things. But other people's platforms, I mean, I love podcasting. I love being on other people's podcasts and reciprocating and having, people guest on mine. It's a great way to get into other people's platforms. Again, if you have that, it doesn't have to be a quiz, folks. I don't know why you wouldn't have a quiz, but it doesn't have to be, but some sort of a way to get people into your community, into your sales castle, as Angel would say, so that you can be nurturing them. And otherwise, it's conversations for fun, not for business. If you don't have a way for people to connect with you and a strong call to action to do so, what are they going to learn? What's in it for them? So, you'll want to check out Jan's 30 ways to leverage other people's platforms, because it's an excellent way to get out. But here's the deal as well. And I think, Jan, you and I can talk about this, but pick a lane that you really love to do. So if you don't love writing, don't offer to write blog articles, right? If you don't love like talking with people and being interviewed, don't offer to be on other people's podcasts. Like, pick a lane, like pick what you love to do and what lights you up, because that's going to attract your ideal clients better than anything else, is because you're excited. And if you feel like you have to do it, it's going to come through that way. Would you agree?
I do. Absolutely. And also, you don't want to spread yourself too thin, right? So you want to work on the things that you're good at, that you like, and that, like you say, kind of stay in that area that you're comfortable with, but do a really good job of it. But at the same time, I want to say, don't forget to get out of your comfort zone.
Good point.
So I can remember my friend Denise Wakeman was telling us to get into video, and I was like, that's the last thing I want to get involved in, but now that we've seen that video is everywhere, it's easy to do. I'm a convert. I understand. That's very powerful.
It's a really good point. Just because you're comfortable doesn't mean you shouldn't try new things.
Right.
I'm just saying, yeah. So for me, for example, I love networking. I love talking to people. I love being on podcasts, summits all day long, even gift giveaways, but make me do posts on social media every day. And I'm like, no, to hell, no, that's no, thank you. My very good friend, Coach Jackie, is amazing. And she does it daily. And that's like how she's crafted she's marketed her 6-figure coaching business just on Facebook and Instagram. Brilliant. Love it. That's what lights her up. Right? Not me. So
she found her lane.
She found her lane. But that doesn't mean that she doesn't try new things. And you're right. You should, because you can't stay stagnant either, especially with the way that things change. And with AI now, we were talking briefly about that earlier, and God knows where that's going to go. I am definitely on the Chat GPT train, but who knows where it's going to lead me.
Any of us.
So everyone, in the show notes will be the link to Jan's 30 ways to leverage other people's platforms. What I'd love to do now, Jen, and it's kind of a new thing for us at Kickstart the Conversation, but I want to flip the switch a little bit and talk about and just kind of brainstorm really quickly. It's not going to be a full quiz, but what kind of a quiz would you like for your business? So the first thing I want to kind of ask about, and we talked about this briefly before we got on air, you are building a community of people on LinkedIn, and people that, subscribe to your newsletter so that you can be sharing other people's platforms effectively. Right. So, you're kind of facilitating that share of platforms and way people can connect with one another. So a quiz for you, I think, would be something that would, excite people to get on the newsletter, to be able to find out where else they might be able to plug into other people's audiences and other people's platforms.
Right.
That are free, not paid, correct?
For the most part, free. Excuse me. The other thing is, I'm always looking for, as I'm reading and learning and listening, I'm sharing tips and tricks on what makes marketing better, business better, productivity better. And so I'll share those in the newsletter too. And sometimes I'll throw in something at the end, like, something from one of my favorite museums that's interesting. So it's a little bit of a number of things, but the core, I've got a kind of a core group that I talk to that are people who've known me for a long time. In my LinkedIn area, the people on Medium are new to me, but they tend to be other readers, other writers that are looking for interesting things about marketing and business. So yeah, so my notion, my purpose is to share things that I see as trends that can be helpful to entrepreneurs mostly, And then to also kind of identify, okay, these are people that you really need to follow, like Catharine O'Leary, if you want to learn about these different topics. These are the things that you need to see.
So for you, it could be something along the lines of uncover the secret resources to
Absolutely.
marketing, for entrepreneurs.
Right.
Like, and so the 3 a.m. question at that point in time for your ideal clients are like, it's kind of like, I wonder what's going on. Like, I wonder, how am I going to use AI? Or, how am I going to figure out a quiz? Or,
right.
It's kind of like that. How do I kind of keep on track? How do I keep at on trend?
How do I stay ahead of what the latest thing is? Because I mean, there's still a lot of people there that are just sitting on the edge, not trying to get into AI, for instance. But maybe I'll share a quote or a resource in the newsletter that says, okay, here's this great, and I have done this already. Marketing AI Institute is offering some free things where you can listen and learn in 30 minutes about the latest on AI. So yeah, that kind of thing.
Marketing AI Institute. See, I didn't know that. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check that out today, actually. So something along the lines. So the 3 a.m. question of how do I stay on trend or ahead of the trends in probably a casual way. So it's not like, I don't want to be on a 3-day summit necessarily.
No, what's the latest? What am I missing? Just something I can tap into for 30 seconds and just see if there's something that strikes my chord is what I'm thinking about or what I'm looking at. I did one recently where I showed 4 different marketing pros and highlighted their podcast episodes where they talked about how they identified something interesting, either in an interview where they were listening to a guest and they learned something, or they learned something developing a product, or so they described their moment where the light bulb went on. So we all have those things, and it's interesting to kind of see how other people come around and find things that really make a difference in their business, where they can see a new path going forward or a new focus that they need to turn their sights on.
So for you, I think that's something along the lines of, uncover the latest trends uncover the latest, discover the latest marketing trends for your business. And then you can ask a few questions around, which of the following topics are you most interested in right now? Is it AI? Is it how to build a team? Is it automation? Is it, like you can list whatever, like, the kind of things that you tend to write about.
Content creation, podcasting. Sure. That's a great idea.
And then another question can be, how are you marketing yourself now? Are you using other people's platforms? Are you using paid ads? Are you, you can ask a few questions there. But you can get kind of a sense of what they're currently doing and what they're kind of interested in. And then by doing that, you can actually say, you know what, you're probably interested in the latest tips and tricks around, maybe it's AI, or maybe it's the latest tips and tricks around marketing in general, or podcasting in general,
so
or content creation in general, right? And then you can actually invite everyone to sign up for your newsletter as the last step. So, discover the hottest new marketing trends here, for your business. And take the 60-second quiz to find out what you need to focus on right now based on where you're at and what you need in your business. And then by asking a few questions about what they're currently doing and, what they're interested in, you can narrow down to a couple of solutions around, maybe it's, kind of higher level stuff like content creation, podcasting, YouTube channel, and AI. We're making it up now, but
or which of these things scares you?
Well, it's not so much scare, because I don't know if people are going to honestly
intrigue
that.
Yeah.
Which of the following do you want to learn more about?
There you go.
Because you do want to flip that. You do want to make sure that people will answer the question. So that's a podcast. That's a quiz that might work for driving, subscriptions to your LinkedIn.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Great
perfect.
idea.
Well, everyone,
I have my marching orders too.
There you go. Marching orders all around. Well, thanks so much to Jan for joining us today. And thank you all for listening in. And I look forward to kickstarting the conversation with you again next week. Just check out the show notes to make sure that you collect all the information from today and all the gifts and goodies. And we'll see you next week. Thanks so much.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Kickstart the Conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending your time with us. We hope you found our discussion about leads, lists, and leveraging relationships helpful. As we've learned, asking well-designed questions is the key to kickstarting conversations with your ideal clients, building authentic relationships, and ultimately driving more sales. So get out there and start asking those intentional questions. Your ideal clients are waiting for you. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. While you're at it, leave a rating and review and be sure to share it with your friends. We have lots of great conversations coming up every week that you won't want to miss. Until next time, keep asking great questions and kickstarting those conversations.